I've seen a lot of brave women who are out supporting Senator Natasha, and they're asking for justice, they're asking for an investigation, they're asking for the right thing to be done. And not just Nigerian women, these are women from all over the world, from Africa and the rest of the world. They're asking for justice. And this is not the first time in history that women have come together to fight for justice. What if I told you that an ancient goddess of wisdom and war has something in common with African women who shook the British Empire? This is the story of Athena and the Igbo Women's War, popularly called the Aba Women's Riot. Two different words, one timeless truth. When women rise, history changes. Athena, the Greek goddess of wisdom and war, was no ordinary warrior. She did not fight for destruction, but for justice. She was a master strategist, guiding heroes like Odysseus to victory. Her power lay not in brute strength, but in intelligence, precision, and unity. She was a force to be reckoned with, unstoppable, undeniable. Centuries later, in 1929, thousands of Igbo women from southeastern Nigeria rose up not with weapons, but with wisdom. The British colonial government dared to impose new taxes on women, an assault on their livelihoods, their independence, and their very existence. But Igbo women had long governed their communities. They organized, strategized, and led a revolt known as the Women's War, or Ogomuwai in Igbo, and Ekongibang in Ibibio, one of the first major anti-colonial uprisings in West Africa. They gathered in thousands. They surrounded colonial officials. They chanted. They demanded justice. No swords, no blood, just power, just voices, unshaken, unstoppable. The women had a secret weapon, an ancient protest method called sitting on a man, irigonwoke. When a man abused his power, women would gather outside his house, singing, dancing, and shaming him into submission. It was not violence, it was strategy, it was unity, and it worked. In ancient Greece, kings sought wisdom from the oracle of Delphi. In Igbo culture, priestesses or ezenwai held the same power, guiding their people with spiritual vision. And in the Women's War, these priestesses became the heart of the movement. Their voices ignited a revolution, proving that leadership is not always about sword, it is about spirit. The Women's War forced the British to abandon their tax plans. It was one of the first anti-colonial victories in Africa, but it was only the beginning. On the morning of November 18, 1929, a woman named Wanyorowa faced off a British census officer, Mark Emerowa, who demanded she count her livestock and household for taxation. Outraged, she refused, challenging the colonial system with a simple but powerful question: was your widowed mother counted? When Emerowa grabbed her by the throat, Wanyorowa did not cower. She ran to the town square and ignited a spark that would set an entire revolution ablaze. Nearly 10,000 women from across the Bender district, Umuahia and Ungwa, joined the movement, protesting at the office of Warrant Chiefs Okugo. They demanded his resignation, they called for justice, and they would not be ignored. At the forefront of the protest stood three formidable women, Ikonia, Nwanedia, and Morgo, known as the Oloko Trio. Their intelligence, persuasion, and unwavering passion kept the movement disciplined and focused. They de-escalated tensions, ensuring the protests remained non-violent. But when British forces killed two women blocking roads in protest, the situation erupted. The police and army stormed the town, but the movement had already shaken the colonial regime to its core. Among the voices that carried this revolution forward was Madam Mary Okezie. She was the first one from her Igbo clan to receive a Western education, and though she did not participate in the revolt, she became a powerful advocate. She documented the women's grievances, submitting them to the 1930 Aba Commission of Inquiry. She later founded the Ungwa Women's Association, dedicating her life to the fight for women's rights. The protests spread across a staggering 6,000 square miles, engulfing all of Owerri and Calabar provinces, home to nearly 2 million people. The women's movement was unlike anything the British colonial authorities had ever seen. By the end of December 1929, 10 native courts had been destroyed, others damaged, homes of court officials attacked, and European factories looted. Women even stormed prisons, freeing those unjustly detained. But the British response was brutal. Colonial troops fired into crowds of unarmed women, killing at least 55. By January 1930, the revolt was forcibly suppressed and colonial forces had carried out over 30 collective punishment inquiries. Yet, the British could not ignore the power of these women. The new administration was forced to revise the structure of native administration, taking into account the very demands the women had fought for. The Aba Women's Riot saw thousands of women from Igbo, Ibibio, Andoni, Ogoni, Efik, and Ijo ethnic groups stand together. These protests were about more than taxes. They were about dignity. They were about sovereignty. They were about the right to exist on their own terms. These women were not queens, not warriors in the way history often remembers, but they were strategists, leaders, and revolutionaries. Their fight was not fought with weapons, but with unwavering resolve. And that spirit, it still burns. Today, in Umweze, Anambra, Nigeria, a group of women, Umuada, stand as guardians of their communities. They volunteer as night guards, protecting homes, fighting knife crime not with guns, but with flashlights, courage, and an unbreakable bond to protect and preserve their communities. They are the modern echoes of their ancestors, proving that when women rise, they do not break. They defend, they protect, they conquer. And there are so many stories like this, from the north to the south to the east to the west, all over the world. When women come together, they fight, and they fight hard, and they refuse to stand down, no matter how much they are threatened. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like this video, leave your comment, subscribe to the channel, and please share this video. I'll see you next time.